Well, good morning, everyone. I know we're having great conversation this morning. I'm Mary Walters. I'm the MC for the Student of the Month program. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'd like to say congratulations to all of our students and their families, and welcome to all of our sponsors. At this time, we will begin the program with Cameron Stevens from Student Venture to lead us in prayer.
Good morning.
Okay, that went well.
I'm sorry. Where does that go?
I don't know.
Okay. In the meantime, would you guys, would you mind standing with me, if you don't mind? Let me just hold that.
Where that was at. Okay, where's that supposed to be? Here, we'll just stick it right there.
That sounds good. I got a loud voice. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this morning. Lord God, I pray that you would just bless our time together. We thank you for all those that are represented here. Father, especially for the students who have been working so hard this year, this school year, in all their studies and their tests and all their extracurriculars, their service projects, everything that they do. Lord God, I thank you for the effort and strength and wisdom and discipline that you've given to them to get to this point in their career. Lord, I pray that you would bless them as they start to plan and prepare for the future, for their college adventure. Lord, I pray that you would give them the wisdom they need to make the best decisions possible. Lord, I pray that you would continue to be with the parents in this room, Lord, that have brought them up. Bless them, Lord, continue to encourage them. And we thank you for the teachers, the administrators, the business partners and community, Lord, that are surrounding them in support. Thank you for this morning, Lord. May you be with us now. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing. We'll have Mayor Rick Gibbs lead us in the pledge.
As we enter this period between Thanksgiving and the Christmas and New Year's holidays, I would ask that you all remember the roughly 100,000 of our nation's finest young men and women who are defending our life all across the world. Please begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, that was the flag of America on the right-hand side. And that will be the California flag.
Well, I'm glad we could all start this morning with a few laughs, and we'll continue to do so. The Student of the Month program was founded 26 years ago in Temecula by Sally Myers, owner of Sizzler Restaurants. It expanded to Murrieta in 1995 and then to Lake Elsinore and Paris Menifee. These four programs celebrate and honor outstanding students who make a significant difference in their schools and community. The mission statement of the Student of the Month program is to provide a local high school recognition program which will acknowledge and honor college-bound senior students for their character, their love of learning, commitment to academics, in addition to their participation in athletics, school activities, community service, or the ability to persevere and overcome difficult life circumstances in a setting that honors God, country, family, community, and free enterprise. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the Student of the Month volunteers if they could stand. I know Llewellyn Fickey is not here this morning, Jen Pham as well. We'd like to thank them. Jerry Selway, Karen Paris, who could not be here this morning, Kim Garcia, Andrea Conchella from Costco, Dan Stake, I know he's here. All right, oh, there's Andrea coming in. Andy Morris from Farmers Insurance. Rhonda Levine, my secretary and our communications person. Derek Gonzalez from Altura Credit Union. Wave, Derek. Lynn Porter, our Murrieta Valley Unified School District, who provides the printing, and Catherine Pepe from Loma Linda Medical Center. And I know Catherine is right there in the back. So thank you so much for volunteers. And this time I'd like to introduce our students and our principals. So if you could stand as I announce. From Murrieta Valley High School, we have Principal Mark Pettengill and student Arabella Risi. From Murrieta Canyon Academy, we have Principal Martina Beach Hedges and student Monique Barrera. From Springs Charter School, we have Principal Kathy Hansen and student Hannah Hebden. From Vista Murrieta High School, we have Principal Mick Wager and student Allison Bean. From Murrieta Mesa High School, we have Principal Steve Ellis and student Jonah Sanchez. And from Oak Grove School, representing the principal, we have Amber Nicholas and student Stephanie Sieber. Congratulations, students, on your accomplishments, and we look forward to hearing from you this morning. At this time, I'd like to invite up Andy Morris to share a few words from the Murrieta Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, everybody. I'm lucky enough to be the chairman of the board for Murrieta Chamber of Commerce, and on behalf of the almost 1,000 chamber members, we just want to say congratulations to the students, how happy we are to have you guys here this morning. Congratulations to the parents. I know it takes a village to get this thing done. You know, you are in one of the greatest places in the world, Murrieta, California. You have a chamber of commerce and business community that cares about you. You have a city that is amazingly supportive of the business community and the people here, and they care so much. And you have one of the greatest school districts, I believe, in the country standing behind you. So we are so privileged to be here and so thankful for you kids and what you've done this year. We're just really happy to have you here and be a part of this program, and I hope you have a great morning today. Thank you so much.
We have a special guest this morning, Mrs. Pamela Wilson, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. She's here this morning. Pam, you can stand. Thank you for coming. She's here representing the district because Mr. Kelly could not be here this morning. I'd like to thank, before we get going, our media people. I'd like to thank Group 1 Production and Stephen Ashby for videotaping this morning. Thank you, Stephen. He tapes our event, and it will be available on our district website through a link in the you can go to the link in the program. And Stephen, our cameraman, he drives over the Ortega Highway every morning for every time we have Student of the Month to come videotape. So we really appreciate that, Stephen. Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank Kip Cothran for coming in this morning. He's from Kip Photography. He is providing everyone with free access to all the pictures from this morning. Parents and those in attendance can view his website listed in the program to view the pictures. And then we'd also like to thank the City of Murrieta for providing airtime on our Time Warner cable channel, so that way this program can be viewed. At this time, I'd like to thank our breakfast sponsors. We have Margaret Jones from Tuscany. She was the former chair of the Student of the Month program for the last 21 years, so we thank her for her support. Dave Robinson from Alpha Baking Company, Derek Gonzalez from Altura Credit Union, Nacheli Rodriguez from Azusa Pacific University. She's here this morning. Lucy Stanucci and Dave Bechet from Bechet Enterprises. They own Corner Bakery. Donna San Miguel from Cal State San Marcos, Derek Roth from Calvary Murrieta Christian School, Malia Ortloff from Eastern Municipal Water District, Catherine Pepe from Loma Linda University Medical Center, Mary Lou Dillard and Jared Davis from Mount San Jacinto College, Tammy Wilson from Oak Grove Center, Grace Cardenas from Rancho Water, Sally Myers and Shannon Murdoff from Sizzler Restaurants, Catherine Hansen from Springs Charter School. I'd like to thank the breakfast sponsors at this time. If we could give them a round of applause. So our Student of the Year program, so all of you students, you're in a special club now, and you are all able to compete for the Student of the Year scholarship. So you will be invited coming up here in the next few months to complete a scholarship application for the Student of the Year. You will compete against the other Student of the Months from your school only, so it's a small group. And then the Student of the Year breakfast will be held in May. So please wait for those applications and be prepared to fill those out. At this time, I'd like to thank our scholarship sponsors. We have Sal Mendez from Abbott. Thank you, Sal. Dave Robinson from Alpha Banking. Dan Stake from Alta Pacific Bank. David Bechet from Bechet Enterprises, Mr. and Mrs. Ken Dixon, he's a Murrieta Valley Unified School District Board member, Andy Morris from Elsinore Valley Municipal Water District, Mr. and Mrs. Pat Kelly, Catherine Pepe, Loma Linda University Medical Center, Mary Lou Dillard from Mount San Jacinto College, Robin Chris from RC Grading, Jim Yakushik from Rotary Club Murrieta, Nicole Farnham from Southwest Healthcare, Rancho Springs Medical Center. So at this time, I'd like to thank them. Listen, if we could give them a round of applause. And then also we have our gift sponsors. So you can see all the list of the sponsors that we have in our program. So I'll mention a few of our gift sponsors. We have the City of Murrieta, we have Murrieta Family YMCA, Elsinore Valley Municipal Water District, Save the Animals, Sizzler, Richie's Diner, Texas Roadhouse, Altura Credit Union, Mulligan Family Fun Center, Bechet Enterprises, Jersey Mike's, Carl's Jr., Temecula Olive Oil Company, Western Municipal Water District, and Which Superior Sandwiches. So as you can see, there's probably a lot of gift certificates to go eat. So you'll be able to enjoy those. So let's give them a round of applause. And then our Student of the Year gift sponsors are Loma Linda University Medical Center in Murrieta, Costco, and Murrieta Chamber of Commerce. So please give them a round of applause. So now we are going to move on to the most important part of our program, the student presentations. You will hear examples of character, college choice, and future. The students will share their heartfelt stories with you today, and you will quickly understand why they are chosen as Students of the Month. Remember, the time limit is 5 minutes per school. Principal has a minute, the student has 2.5 minutes, the teacher has a minute, and the family has a minute. Students, when you come forward, please bring your family and your guests with you. We'll have the student and the parents on this side, and then the school guest on the other side. Guests, save a dry corner of your napkins for the heartfelt student presentations, and students, try to relax. You can see we have quite a few laughs already this morning, and speak clearly into the microphone. Please stand close together so that way we can videotape you for viewing, so hopefully we won't have to ask you to scooch together on our local cable channel. And so at this time, we are going to begin our program with Murrieta Valley High School and Mr. Pettengell.
Good morning. I'm proud to introduce Murrieta Valley High School's Student of the Month for November, Miss Arabella Reese. Bella is an International Baccalaureate Diploma student. She's played volleyball, track in the last 3 years, also was on the cross-country team, earning second team All-Southwestern League this past season. When speaking with her teachers and fellow students, there is a common theme. Bella is one of the nicest, friendliest, and most humble individuals that they have ever met. When I asked her how she got that way, she said, "It must be my family. We're so close and share so much love." Her mother, Stacy, and father, Bob, are in the entertainment industry. They moved from Los Angeles to Murrieta over a decade ago for their children to attend Murrieta schools. Bella and her twin brother, Tristan, who Bella calls her homie, have an 8.6 combined GPA. You do the math. Tristan says, I've never seen someone that can draw people in like she can. She has a knack for making people like her. She is an incredibly natural leader with great charisma. Bella is truly a unique individual. She plays the guitar and sings in a nearly all-girl punk band, the drummer is a male, called Miss Spoken. She earned a scholarship this past summer to attend the NYU Music Business Summer Program. She began her own charity called For the Record, where she collects CDs and records and sells to resale or recycling businesses, and then donates 100% of the profits to the Fender Music Foundation, which donates musical supplies to underfunded schools. Bella says, I just want everyone to enjoy music like I do. I'd like to welcome Arabella Reese.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. As Mr. Pettingale said, I'm Arabella Reese. I'm a senior at Murrieta Valley High School, and I'm starting your morning off. Woo! All right. I'll introduce my family really quick. Off to my left, your right. This is my twin brother, Tristan. Hello. And then my mom, Stacy, and my dad, Bob. Love them. And then off to the right, I have Mrs. Fields. She is my IB psychology teacher and the head of the IB program at the school, which I am a part of. So you can say good morning to her. And then Mr. Pettingale, my principal. And share college and career goals. Okay, well, I run at my school. I run varsity cross country and track. So my plans for the future, I'm going to be running at Pitzer College in the Claremont Consortium. Love that school. And I'm going to be pursuing media studies as my major. I don't know exactly what I want to do with my life yet, but I want to be in entertainment like my parents. So whether that's TV or music or movies, I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see where that takes me. Hopefully. Share about my current school life. All right, so as I said before, I'm a full IB diploma student, my second year as a senior. So we're wrapping up. Woo! Almost done with the semester. I'm excited, and I'm really thankful for everything that program has brought me in my life, all my friends, and it's been a rough journey with, all the schoolwork, but we're getting there, and it's coming to a close, so I'm thankful for that. As I said before, also, I run varsity cross country and track at my school. I played volleyball my freshman year, and then I was planning to run track, but I got injured, so I officially started running my sophomore year, and that's been full force ever since. I feel weird bragging about myself, but I guess I'll talk about that for a second. I have the fastest 2-mile record at my school for junior girls, which I broke last season, which is really, really cool. Really proud of that one. And then, as Dr. Pettingale said, I was second team all-league in cross country this year. We went to CIF finals, really exciting, for the second year in a row, so that's really, really cool. And yeah, big goals for this track season. Hoping to break 5 minutes in the mile. Fingers crossed. And then I have my own charity. Also, as Dr. Pettingale said, for the record, that's something I love to do in my free time, which I don't have a lot of, but I try to make time for it on the weekends because my weeks are pretty packed with school and running and everything. And then also music. That's what I love to do. If I could choose to do anything in my life without having to worry about money or living, it'd be pursuing music with my band. I go to Riffs Music School. It's right next to Murrieta Mesa, actually, next to Target in that shopping center below. It's the best. I highly recommend it. Sorry for the promo. But yeah, I take vocal and guitar lessons there, and then I'm in the band myself. I sing and play guitar. I'm the front lady. And then, yeah, this past week, actually, we recorded a few of our songs. We were in the studio, and we've played the Whiskey A Go-Go 3 times. Shout out to my homies in LA. Woo-woo! So that's pretty cool. And I guess that's a little bit about my life, so you can get the full picture of who I am, I guess. And we'll keep this thing moving and let my teacher speak about me. Thank you all so much for coming out, and I thank all the sponsors and Mr. Pettingale, all my teachers, and my family. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, good morning. I'm Alana Fields. I'm the IB Diploma Coordinator at Murrieta Valley High School, and I'm Arabella's IB Psychology teacher. I have a lot to say about her, and I could go on, but I will try to keep it to my 1 minute. The first words that come to me when I think of Arabella is pure joy. Oh, I kind of get emotional during these things, so watch out. She's passionate about her learning, and she's always excited to experience life to its fullest, as sure as you can see her energy while she's standing up here, right? She is a full IB diploma student, and I've had the honor of being able to teach her for 2 years, not just in 1 year, so that's a blessing for me. In my IB psychology class, her positive energy is infused in all of her interactions, and her smile is infectious. Every time I see her, you can't help but smile and just be filled with joy. She's an outstanding student and a hard worker. So you heard all of the extracurriculars that she's involved in, but she's ranked 4th in her class right now. So on top of all of those extracurricular activities that she's invested in, she's a dedicated student and extremely hardworking in extremely rigorous coursework. She's always prepared for class, and it's something that I can, as a teacher, really respect, because sometimes when you are so busy, that preparedness starts to go down. Bella is truly one of a kind. Her personality, as her brother said, attracts others to her. She is unique. From her hair color to her fashion choices, her hair color changes from month to month. So from her hair color to her fashion choices to being in her rock band and her dedication to music, she doesn't ever seem to let fear stop her from being herself. Yet she also has that something extra that allows her to cross divides and work well with anyone. I like to say she has both the glue and the sparkle. So she has them both. She's open-minded and embraces diversity. She's authentic and she's genuine. Her peers describe her as one of the most kind and positive people on our campus. She cares about helping others and is able to approach group conflicts with optimism and humility. I know you've heard the others say about her humble spirit. She doesn't like talking about herself, and she shies away from any individual accolades and would rather share the success as a group rather than have the attention on herself. So she is getting to experience that discomfort today, but it is well deserved. The characteristic, though, that I value the most in Arabella is her integrity. She holds herself to a high standard, not simply in her academic pursuits, but in all of her interactions. She is honest, even when it may result in discomfort between peers, and her core values are not sacrificed in the face of pressure. Arabella is one of the most well-rounded students that I've had the opportunity to teach, and she thrives on new and challenging learning experiences academically, athletically, and creatively. And the sky is truly the limit for her, and I couldn't be more proud of who she is today.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Arabella's dad. About 17 and a half years ago, the twins were born, and we stayed in the hospital as long as we could because we wanted as much help as we could have, and then they sent us home. They actually kicked us out, and we got home, and I think we both burst into tears with the kids on the driveway because we were like, we have no idea what we're doing. And here we are 17 and a half years later, and I still feel like most of the time, we don't know what we're doing, but I guess we've done something right because both our kids are doing amazing things, and Arabella has always been self-motivated, and to see her pursue all of her interests with great passion and integrity, we're so at home. I suppose like most families, we think our kids are doing great, but then find out that they're being recognized was just. It's overwhelming because we know there's so many kids in this community doing amazing things. So to have her being recognized for her efforts and achievements is a really wonderful thing. So I wanted to say thank you so much. We're humbled and honored. And so proud.
Stop.
Thank you. Next, we'd like to welcome up Murrieta Canyon Academy Principal Martina Beach Hedges and her student Monique Barrera.
Okay, you have to stand close. Stand closer. Okay. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Pettengill. First, I just want to congratulate all the students of the month and their families for raising such amazing people. And coming here is just an amazing thing for me every month. So thank you so much for allowing me to come and talk about our student from Murrieta Canyon. What I get excited about this is that no matter what the students and where they come from, that we get to recognize them for who they are and the outstanding things, and it's not just about their GPA. And I just want to say, Arabella, I wish I was as confident as you are when I was as young as you are. Amazing. You are going to go far, for sure. So I want to talk about my student of the month. It's amazing because I think that she thinks that nobody notices her because she's so quiet and shy. But she's amazing, and I don't think that, what I love about it is that sometimes when students are so amazing and they don't realize that people notice them, and that speaks a lot about Monique. She came to us at Murrieta Canyon as a sophomore from Vista, so thank you, Vista. She, shout out to Vista. She has done amazing. She struggled in school, and that's why she came over to us. Students come to us for many different reasons, and a lot of times it's not just about that they're doing poorly because they can't handle the academic work. It's because they need a different way of doing things, and they need different opportunities. Well, that was Monique. It's not that she couldn't, it's just that she had things going on in her life that she needed to find a different way to do it. So for us, we're lucky to have her, so yay. And part of the reason why she struggled, and she'll share about why, was because she lost someone very close to her, and she had to overcome to make things right. She's one of our kids that we call like the comeback kid. Her GPA was really, really low when she came to us as a sophomore, second semester sophomore. But I can say that she's not, since she's been with us, she has not received anything lower than a C. And that's a lot. And why that's so exciting is because students at our school aren't just taking the 7 classes at the other sites. They sometimes take more, like 8 or 9, just to try to make up the credits that they are behind in. I would say that what is overwhelmingly wonderful about Monique is that her tenacity to do what's right, to make a comeback, as she has done. The other great thing about Monique is that she's part of our LCAP committee, student committee, where she gets to tell us what we need to do at our school. And I remember talking with her, I don't know if she remembers this, but I remember talking to her about her being on our committee, and she just kind of looked at me like, yeah, I guess I'm going to do it. But I said, but I need you on that committee because I need to hear your voice because you have a lot to say and it's important. And she hasn't disappointed. The other thing I love about her is that she just wants to give back. Like, we had a We Day speaker. We is a nonprofit group who works with kids to give back to their community, whether it's within the school or within their community. And we had a speaker 2 weeks ago, and just kind of motivating kids, hey, you need to get out there and give back to your community. Monique and a couple of our friends have decided that, yes, this is what they're going to take on. So they're finding ways to give back to the community, and it's just amazing to me. The last thing the last couple things is what I love about her is her strong family commitment. And I don't know if she says this to her parents enough, but I know that she loves them. And when we talked about college, she's like, I just need to make sure I stay close because I need to be close to my family. And that speaks a lot to me. So she is going to go off to college, well, somewhere close, so kind of off. And then she wants to go into education. She shared that with me, and I have to tell you, I was so excited so that we can possibly have her back in our community in our district teaching. So that would be exciting for me to see her doing that because she's gonna be a great role model for students, her future students. So with further ado, I just want to introduce my amazing student, Monique Barrera.
Hi everyone, I'm Monique, like Mr. said. Closer, sorry. Yeah. Okay, okay. I'd like to introduce my parents, Elizabeth and Enrique, and then my friend Alyssa. Then my principal, Miss Rice. No, my teacher, Miss Rice. My principal's a speech. Some college and career goals. I'd like to do either education or forensic science, because like those two always like took interest in me and stuff, and I've had great teachers and everything, so I'd like to thank them for that. Then, as Miss Beach said, I'm sorry, I'm nervous a little bit. I did not have the greatest grades freshman and sophomore year. But after I transferred to SCA, they've all taught me that I could do better, and I like to thank them for that. And they've all showed me like school's not always hard as I always thought it would be. So I like to thank them for that too. As Ms. Beach said, I want to help the homeless. So me and my friends, including Melissa, we're gonna try and raise money to feed the homeless, and hopefully, if we're allowed, to get donations like clothes and blankets, stuff like that, to, keep them warm during this cold/hot time. But yeah, so for college, I'm gonna attend MSJC for first 2 years, then transfer to CSU, and either do education or forensic science. And as Maju said, I lost my sister when I was 6 years old. So that helped me back a little bit. So I had to redo kindergarten again. So, okay.
Okay.
It was hard. Sorry. It was hard because, I have 5 siblings, well now 4, unfortunately. So I grew up with 2 brothers. So it was hard not really having, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
It was hard not having someone a little bit older than me to guide me through life. And, sorry. It did take a toll. It's hard sometimes, but I think it made me stronger as a person. And sorry.
It's okay.
And even though she's not with me today, I'd like to thank her for everything she's done for me when she was still here. Thank you.
I'm short. I even have heels on.
It's okay, you're fine.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Mrs. Rice, and I've had Monique 2 years now. This is she's in my Spanish 2 class, and last year when she started in my class, she was quiet, and she said she didn't like me because I was a sub at her previous school, and I wasn't very nice. I don't know. But
I love you.
she loves me now. No. No. One thing that stands out about Monique, not only her quiet spirit, but it's her character, and she stands strong in what she believes in. She doesn't waver in things that really stand out to her, like if peer pressure and things like that don't affect her. She really tries to stay out of the drama and the gossip and all that stuff that goes on at school, and she tries to make things right with the students around her, and even in class, she helps out others, and she just doesn't want to because of the way she is. She's quiet, yet she's very strong in her stand. People look up to her, and I don't think she sees that. She's kind of reminds me of me, and that's why I would love for her to go into education, because I think she would be a great influence. I also go. She's in my hiking club, and we've gone on a couple hikes and gone down to San Diego and done all these different field trips kind of thing. And on our hikes, we've died together because we've gone on a 7-mile hike, which I didn't know was so hard, but she stayed back with me. Yeah, so she's very supportive physically, and so it is. I'm proud that she's here today, and I think that she's bigger than who she thinks she is. And she has a lot to offer, not only our school, our community, but everyone around her. So, thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Elizabeth. I'm Monique's mom. Like the principal and her teacher had mentioned earlier, Monique is very quiet. She keeps to herself. She's more of an observer. So there'll be chaos around her, and Monique would just stand there, and she'll look, she'll observe, and she got that from her dad. Me, I'm a little bit more outspoken, but she's really a gentle soul. She loves people. She has a heart for people, and she always tries to see where she could be of help, but without being noticed. And I've always told her, Monique, there's so much in you. You just need to know how to bring it out of you. And I know that she's growing up and she's starting, to discover that. And I know eventually that she will, when she figures out all those talents that she already has and the kind of heart she has, that she's going to really appreciate herself. Because I know at a young age, you're trying to figure out where to go and who you are. You're trying to find your identity. Some kids find it earlier than others, but I tell her, you know what, you can never give up. You can never give in. No matter who tells you, people may not always see you the way that we see you as your parents, because obviously they think, well, you're my mom and dad, and that's why you're telling me that. And the fact today that her principal and her teacher are saying the things that we've been telling her for years, I hope she really holds on to that. And I tell her it doesn't matter what struggle you're going to have, because that's part of life. But the fact is, you have to keep on standing. If you fall, you have to get right up and you have to move forward. Adversity is part of life, but you have to know you're always going to come out victorious at the end. And so me and her dad were really thankful to God, and we're so blessed to have a daughter like you. And she is older sister now. I know her sister's no longer here, but we have a 1-year-old, and she's learning. She helps out a lot, and she's a big help. And I do tell her, I said, Monique, I said, there is so much goodness in you. Every time you look in the mirror, I said, you have to say that to yourself. If other people don't tell you, you say it to yourself until it becomes real to you. And so we're also proud, of everything that she's done. When she came home to tell us that she was getting this award, it was kind of confirmation as a mom, because I feel like, okay, she's starting to come out, she's starting to blossom. She's going to start to see the things that maybe she hasn't been able to see this whole time. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So we would like to now call up Oak Grove's principal representative and their student of the month, Stephanie Sieber.
Good morning. I am filling in for Tammy Wilson. I am Miss Amber Nicholas, and I am Stephanie's homeroom teacher at Oak Grove Center. Our school motto is REACH, and that's for resiliency, excellence, academics, character, and honor. And Stephanie fulfills a lot of those roles within our school, and she's still developing those and coming into being, the great young lady that she is. She's part of our garden club. She helps anytime she can, extensively. I ask her if she needs a break. She's all no. She keeps going. She's also part of our leadership group that we've been doing, and which is per the whole school, but then she stays in a more smaller group setting to strengthen those leadership skills, and I'm very proud of her and want to introduce Stephanie Sieber.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Sieber. I'm 17 years old and currently attending Oak Grove School. I'm in the 12th grade. In my past, I struggled with personal safety and interacting with people. One of my many obstacles I overcame was being able to bounce back from my setbacks. One of my experiences is that I used to use negative coping skills, but now I use positive ones like art in different ways, like collaging, painting, and photography. One life lesson I learned from these experiences is that giving up is not as fulfilling as succeeding. I plan to give back to the community by opening up my own suicide prevention business. It would include the following therapeutic groups, such as arts and crafts, cooking, fitness, and support groups. These types of groups have helped me dramatically. For example, in art, I created a fairy jar. The jar is full of glitter. It might seem simple for others, but for me, seeing the glitter fall when I turned it upside down was relaxing and helped calm my anxiety. From personal experience, I know what it's like and how important these places are for people who feel helpless and alone and feel like they don't have a good support system. My business would also provide a 24-hour hotline. I'd also have a website that would help provide online resources for those who in need and those who have issues besides suicidal ideation. This is why I plan to go to Victor Valley Community College and study psychology. I will be able to learn more in depth about the mind and why people have certain behaviors. Thank you.
Again, I'm Miss Nicholas, and I am Stephanie's teacher. She has me for her homeroom class, her transition class. She's in history. She's finishing up her final credits. And, one big thing that Stephanie has definitely worked on is self-advocacy and branching out. In the beginning, she was like on the fringe of the group. She didn't want to, engage, and she was kind of like an observer, like previously stated from the student. And she really has blossomed and become herself. She even, when the classroom gets chaotic, Stephanie will come up to me and say, hey, I need this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. And she's really good now at prioritizing what she needs and reminding me. And at one point, Stephanie, we were trying to get her into our workability program, to work on campus and develop those skills. And she's like, no, no, no. And now she has 2 jobs on campus and, as teacher assistants. And so she's doing really well, coming into herself. She's stepping out of her comfort zone, displaying those leadership skills, branching out to her peers, helping out. And I'm truly proud of her. And one thing that she's doing is she's making those connections. When she said she has these negative coping skills and safety was a big problem, or she had this setback, she's learning to take those, build on them, and then use healthy coping skills and go from there. She's learning from them. She was very reserved and very passive, like I said, on the sidelines, and now she's displaying a sense of humor. Whenever I do something in the classroom, she's giggling over there, and I'm like, hey, and so she's starting to become her own self. She also has that growth mindset. We're talking about having a fixed mindset and all the negatives that can be, but she's coming into a growth mindset and looking at the other side and what it can be and what she can do. So I'm really proud of her, and I know that she will do well.
Not easy for me to get around up here with the leg acting up. Stephanie is the pride of my life. If you would have seen her when we brought her into the system, you wouldn't recognize her now. I mean, it's just, she just came along so far, and she's doing everything better than I ever expected. That's it. That's it. I can't get in and out. I can't get out. Yeah.
Thank you, and I'd like to introduce Springs Charter School, Hannah and Kathy.
Okay, now that I have tears in my eyes. Springs Charter School has many programs, and the Keys High School program is one of them. And the Keys High School program, for those of you that don't know, is an independent study college prep program. And so it's very difficult. The students do a lot of researching on their own, teaching themselves, and with the help of their education specialist that they meet with once a week. And Hannah is an excellent student, and she's a delightful person. I'm not at every site because I have 10 sites in our program, but the things that her teacher has told me about her since she was here in the 9th grade over the years is she's just a wonderful girl, and she's in the National Honor Society, and she's been in college this is her 2nd year. She does dual enrollment so that to get ahead of the game, and that's hard when you're doing independent study and college at the same time. The mission of the Keys program is to teach our students to be independent learners so that they don't need us. And I think that Hannah's a good example of that, and I would like to introduce her to you. Hannah Hebden.
Okay, hello, I'm Hannah Hebden. I brought with me today my education specialist, Summer, and then Miss Hanson, and my mom, Allison, and my dad, Mike. So a little bit about me. I live with my parents, and I have 2 younger brothers. They are 8 and 11, so they're quite a bit younger than me. I help out a lot at home with my siblings and help my mom out. Like Ms. Hanson said, I'm in the National Honor Society. This is my 2nd year, and I've taken a few college courses so far. Last year, I took English 101 and English 103, which were extremely difficult and put me out of my comfort zone, writing 10-page papers, which is something that I had never done before. And then I also took a sociology class last year as well, which also was a little out of my comfort zone, and it was a very long class, so it was difficult to get used to. This year I took music appreciation, and that was just an online course, and that was interesting, and really it was nice to learn about music and how it has come along through the years. This year I am taking an internship class, so I will be interning this year, hopefully at the hospital, Temecula Valley Hospital. My future college goals, I'm going to attend MSJC for 1 or 2 years and then transfer to another college. I want to be an OBGYN, which requires a lot of schooling, so I'll be in school for a long time, hopefully doing the community college and then transferring to a university and then medical school from there. One thing that I've learned while being in this program is that patience is key, and it takes a lot of hard work to do well in this program, which is something that I think could be difficult for some students, and you have to definitely be an independent learner and be disciplined in this program. and just discipline yourself. And I think that something that goes to show is that hard work really pays off, and I wouldn't be here today without working so hard. And then next is Summer, my education specialist.
Yeah. Oops. Oh dear. Go ahead. I'm tall, so I have to lift it up. I feel so lucky to have worked with Hannah for her whole high school career. I think you can all tell that she's very hardworking, so I'm not going to talk so much about that, but I want to speak a bit to her kindness. In the independent study program, we have a close relationship with our students. I've worked with Hannah since she started high school. Just a short little story. A few years ago, I got pregnant, and I told my students I was going to be going out on leave. And for a lot of my students, they expressed anxiety about that, or, it's kind of an inconvenience for them. They're going to have a sub. And it was a really hard pregnancy, and I had a child that had a lot of health problems. And when I came back, Hannah and her mom had made me this beautiful quilt for my baby. And it touched my heart so much because Hannah doesn't think about how something is going to inconvenience her or be hard for her. She just has a much broader perspective. She is wise beyond her years. She is so humble. She works in silence, and she lets her success be her noise, which is so cool. When I first met Hannah, when she was in the 9th grade, she was quiet in a wonderful way because she really listens to what you're saying. She thinks about it, she reflects on it, she applies it to her own life. So when she told me that she wanted to be an OBGYN one day, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she is going to be incredible. She is wise beyond her years. As an educator, I talk way too much. And so I have learned from Hannah to kind of like pull back and listen and learn from more experiences and from more people. I adore this girl. I'm going to be heartbroken on graduation day. So happy, but heartbroken too, because I'm going to miss her and her beautiful family so much. So thank you so much for honoring her. She's so worthy of this award. So thank you.
When you're at a small school and you do have the same teacher for 4 years, you are like a family. And I wasn't going to say anything personal, but I was sick for a couple of years, and Hannah, when she said she helped out at home, it was a lot more than just helping out at home. So I do want to thank her for that. But the main reason why we're here is we're recognizing her outstanding academic achievement, and I'm so thankful for this program. She has so many college classes already behind her that it, might only be one more year at home until she's off to, complete at a 4-year, and I'm really gonna miss her. But I know she's gonna do well. She's incredibly bright, hardworking, disciplined, and focused, as we've already said. She takes her education very seriously and always tries her best. She never complains or gives up, and I know that work ethic will continue when she's in college and medicine, or if she decides on another career. I know she's still young, but she would definitely be a great doctor because of her listening skills and her hard work. Her father and I are very proud, and thank you for honoring her today and recognizing this, all the hard work that she's put in. Thank you.
Now we'd like to turn the time over to Vista Murrieta High School for Allison Bean and Wager, the principal.
For having such a short name, you'd be surprised how many ways you can say it. So, coming Nice and tight, squeeze in. Then like we like each other. Hey, that's tight. That is nice. That is close. See? You don't have to be a small school to really love each other. Okay, so this is Allison Bean. She's our student of the month this month. And she just got back from Europe yesterday afternoon for a student leadership trip, and so if she nods off during the presentation, you'll understand. If you've ever coached your own son or daughter or have been your child's teacher or school administrator, principal, assistant principal, you know how it is to walk a thin line between supporting your child and making sure you're not treating your child any more special than other students. It's a tough thing to do. Right, Coach?
It is.
It is. All of us standing up here have been in that situation in one way or another, or are still in it now. And we've all had kids at Vista, and Matt Bean here is the assistant principal at Vista. Kristen Bean's a teacher over at Buchanan. Thank you. I didn't just get back from Europe, but I feel like I did. Anyway, sometimes we bend over backwards to not treat them special and to do whatever we can to, so, you know, they're just like every other kid. Well, we could bend over backwards until our backs broke, and we would still have to recognize Allison Bean as a student of the month because she is just that incredible. She's without a doubt epitomizes our motto of class, which is character, leadership, attitude, scholarship, and service in every way. She's a standout athlete. 4 years she's been on the varsity golf team. Last 3 years she's been all CIF. She holds a couple school records in golf. One is the lowest 9-hole average in school, and also the most rounds at par or under par in one season. So she follows that little golf ball around a park, and you know, that I think that golf teaches you that adversity, how to deal with, you know, despite the weather or whatever, or the frustration or the adversity you're feeling. You've got to be poised. You've got to have a laser focus and learn how to bounce back. Her efforts and accomplishments in golf have been recognized by colleges all over the place, and she's chosen to accept a scholarship and play at Division I golf school at the University of Denver in the fall. So that's great. Congratulations to her on that. She's the president of our BBC, the Bronco Bleacher Creatures, which is no small task, is the core of our student spirit. It's the core of our student spirit at Vista Murrieta High School, America's most spirited high school. So that's a major deal there too. She's a top scholar at her school with a GPA of over 4.4, and she has and is still challenging herself with a myriad of dual enrollment and advanced placement courses. She's just challenges herself in every way. She's an amazing young woman, calm, cool, collected, as you'd expect from an expert golfer, and always a super, super nice young lady. Allie, like her parents, is a doer. She is always willing to jump in and do what it takes to get the job done. And I have never heard other people talking about her as someone who boasts, who's worried about herself or her own accolades. It's always just about getting it done, moving forward, and she's incredibly humble, especially compared to all of her accomplishments. So Allison is what we call OKB, our kind of Bronco, and is as classy as they come. So congratulations, Allie.
Hi, good morning. My name's Allison Bean, and I'm here representing Vista Murrieta High School. First off, I'd like to thank everyone in the room on behalf of Student of the Month program for putting on this wonderful event. I'd also like to thank everybody from the district, sponsors and dignitaries here for the same. Today I brought with me both of my parents, Matt Bean and Kristen Bean, and Coach Ruth, for all of their, for always pushing me to do better and working with me throughout high school. To touch on a little bit of what Mr. Wager said earlier about myself, I am the BBC president at Vista and a 4-year varsity golfer. Next year I'll be attending University of Denver on golf scholarship, where I plan to major in math, hopefully becoming a high school math teacher in the future. Golf's been a huge part of my life for about the last 7 years and a big learning experience for me. I've played on our high school team for all 4 years and think that it's taught me to be unselfish and even more motivated for the future. Aside from golf and academics, I want to talk about BBC a little bit and how that has kind of made me the person I am today. So for those of you that are not familiar with what BBC is, it stands for Bronco Bleacher Creatures, and it's in place to promote school spirit, develop school culture, and it works directly with our athletes on campus to suit their needs. I've been a member of this class for the last 4 years and really feel like we're there to make the school a better place and make each year better than the previous. For kind of the things that we do in our class specifically are plan luncheons for each of our sports teams and recognize them for hard work. We plan our game of the seasons and highlight different sporting events that really get other students to go support the sports teams on campus. During football season, we plan our annual night rally and get people fired up for all of our football games. We really strive to make our events a community event, community celebration, and welcome as many people as we can. I really think that what BBC does is the epitome of how our program can better serve our school and community together. Being president this year has been an honor for me and really opened my eyes to the responsibilities and pressures of being in a leadership position, but it's also really rewarding. And I think the skills that I've learned will better prepare me for success in the future. Aside from the sports parts of that class, there's things that we do during our class time that I feel like are even sometimes more important than what we can do outside of class to support our sports teams. For example, one thing that we do every single Friday is called Find a Friend Friday. Our class goes out during each lunches and tries to just get to know new people, and sometimes we'll go back to the same people and talk to them, or we'll find new people and just make connections with them. A little side story about that is actually this year in our BBC class, we have someone that we met during Find a Friend Friday, got to know, and thought would be a really good addition to our class. And I think providing him with further leadership opportunities and other opportunities, wrong word, but really solidifies the importance of BBC and why we really need to have it on our campus. So off of that, I just want to thank Coach Ruth for trusting in me and putting me in that leadership position, because I would not be able to develop the same life skills without your guidance or advice. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank both of my parents for always being there for me and supporting me when I need it. I would not be the person I am today without both of you. And as much as I think I'm gonna start crying, know everything, you both have taught me how to better manage my time, work with others, be competitive, do the right thing, and always be the best version of myself. I know I don't say it enough, but thank you. Thank you guys again. I don't cry much either.
That's a first right there. Allie cried. Hey, so that makes me really happy. But I know right now people like Steve Ellis and Pat and Gill, you're sitting here going, "There's no way Ruth stays under a minute." I'm actually going to do this.
No way.
I'm actually going to do this. But anyway, hey, Allie's a rock star. I know she's not a little rock star like you, Arabella, but I mean, she is a rock star. I tell you what, I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I figure out how to surround myself with quality people that make you look good. You know, I'm a really good BBC advisor this year because I'm just like, yeah, go ask Allie. You know, go ask Allie. And actually, some of you might know Mike Pattison, who's our former ASB advisor at Vista Murrieta and at Murrieta Valley as well. He is amazing. And one of the things he taught me as an advisor is, you know, how to step back and push your students forward, which is something that, you know, for me, I was always that guy kind of always out leading the parade kind of thing. And it's something I've really worked hard to do. But you can do it when you have people like Allie, because you don't have to worry about it. You know, I'm sitting there going, oh, is this going to go? Is this going to go? And this year I've really been able to step back. And that's the best compliment I can give Allie, because anybody who knows me knows I'm a real type A control person, and I think she sees it just because she's seen me the last 3 years with our previous presidents, and I've always been on top of everything. And honestly, I just sit back and let her do it. There's adjustments they made this year in the class, the way we run the class, simply because I know it's her, and I don't need to worry about it. So yes, I could obviously say a lot more, but
You really can.
I really can. But yeah, microphones and I, we're friends. Okay, but anyway, no, Allie, again, and I've told her this, in person, just when her and I have talked, but the people that have come across through Vista Murrieta and been BBC presidents through the years, including my own son, who was a previous Student of the Month winner here, have been amazing. But I will tell you without a doubt, Allie is the best president we've ever had in the history of our program, and I think one of the top students, overall students we've ever had in the history of Vista Murrieta High School. And as someone who loves our school and has been there from day one, I don't say that lightly, but I say it in true sincerity and honesty. So congratulations, Allie.
Yeah, great. It's a unique experience. I had this whole thing drummed up of what I was going to say. I've had a lot of experience up here. I was a teacher. I was the AVID coordinator for 12 years. I've been an administrator for 5 years. So I've been on every spot here except for obviously the student spot. So I was like, oh, I got this. I'm not going to write things down. I know what I'm going to say. I can separate the emotion. I know I can count on Allie not getting emotional because she's going to just get through it, so that'll get me to go. But obviously that failed. So it's amazing. Kind of what I was thinking about as I went through this is the amazing journey, and it takes us back. Coach Roos said it. 2003, Allison was on the field at Vista Murrieta with 1,000,000 rocks as we opened up our very first freshman and JV football game. And the irony is now she's up in the stands leading 2,200 to 3,500 kids as a BBC leader. It's kind of an awesome trajectory to watch her grow, mature, and to take on those true pillars of class. And, they do this cheer that I love, and this is the part, it's like you wish you were a Bronco and everybody and they do it up in the stands. That's, her entire life, she's wanted to be at Vista. And I've been very fortunate as a dad to, I'm usually like the stern guy. I'm supposed to be that hard. Mary wants to see this because I'm that guy who's always arguing, fighting, and trying to go. But I do get emotional because obviously we are very proud of her. And I think it's those time management skills. You hear a common theme with all these students. They get it. They figure out how to balance things in their life. To be a Division I athlete, to get a 4.4 and take 1,000,000 duals and APs, and to lead the biggest organization on our campus, it's amazing. And I'm confident that our district, our community has prepared her to go to that next level and accomplish great things. So we're proud of you. We love you. You're killing it. Yeah. Yeah. We love Kip. He's at every event leading our church, so we love him. Thanks.
All right. Well, I usually just pass it on, but I've been up here too as a dad, and I'm glad it's not just me, because you're fine until it's your own daughter, and then all of a sudden, boom, forget it's over. Anyway, thank you very much. We want to welcome Steve Ellis up to the stage, to the microphone, the next Student of the Month.
It's always fun to follow Vista. First time ever in 5 years of doing this that Mick was not the longest speaker from Vista, so good job, Mick. Good morning, my name is Steve Ellis, and I'm the principal at Murrieta Mesa High School, where I'm privileged to work with incredible students like the young man you're about to meet, as well as attend this incredible event. You guys need to come a little closer. I would like to start by thanking Sally and Jennifer and Llewellyn, who are not here, as well as Mary and all the other sponsors that make this event possible. I love starting my day this way. It's my favorite time of the month, favorite day of the month every month. I'd also like to congratulate all the other students, your parents, and the teachers in the room, because it does take a community for us to be here, and they've obviously achieved great things to be recognized this morning, so great job. This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Murrieta Mesa's Senior of the Month for November, Jonah Sanchez. Jonah is a strong student, maintaining a high GPA while taking a rigorous schedule. In Jonah's years at Mesa, his involvement and accomplishments are many. He has been in NJROTC all 4 years, and is currently company commander, which means second, third in charge, depending on who you ask. He's logged hundreds of hours of community service through our NJROTC program. He's in our Cal HOSA chapter, which is for future medical field workers. The biggest reason that students probably know his name on our campus, and maybe you've read about it or heard about it out in the community, is he's an incredible mountain biker. He would not accept the credit when I suggested this, but he essentially put our team on the map. He doesn't agree with that. As a freshman, he was state champ. As a sophomore, he was on the podium. Junior last year, he said he was disappointed in his year. He was 8th in the state on the varsity, and to even compete on the varsity level in mountain biking, you have to have qualifying times to even get into those races. He would have been higher actually, but in the championship race, it was either a crash or the chain or something fell off on the very first lap. So he spends the next 4 laps tracking down competitors, and he does track down most of them. I know he was not pleased with his finish overall, but that's because of the expectations he puts on himself. As a school, we're like, man, 8th in the state, that's awesome. He doesn't agree with that. But anyway, I would expect that you could probably be reading about him competing for a state championship again this year in mountain biking. All of these roles, involvements, and competitions are great, but they're not why Jonah was selected by our staff to be honored today. Jonah's here because he is a servant leader, a leader by example, polite and courteous at all times, extremely respectful to all, teachers, staff, and other students. He goes above and beyond without being asked. Jonah is also extremely humble. He doesn't want the glory or recognition for what he does or his accomplishments. He doesn't toot his own horn and is quick to deflect the credit to others. I have a little story that may help illustrate this. One of my pet peeves is I hate trash at break and lunch. I hate it. Like, it just gets under my skin. I can't understand why kids cannot walk 10 feet to the nearest trash can and throw their stuff away. It drives me nuts. Anyway, it's not about me. But often after lunch, I'll go around and I'll be picking up trash. And one day I noticed this young man in his ROTC uniform picking up trash. And then as I got closer to it, I realized it was Jonah. And after a few minutes, I'm like, hey, you should probably get to class. And he said, well, I have early release. I can do this till it's done. And he did it till it was done. And part of me thinks that's pretty awesome, but he's just helping the old principal out. You felt sorry for me or whatever. But the best part of this story is on other days when I'm not picking up the trash, but I'm walking to meetings or walking across campus, there's Jonah, who still has early release, cleaning up the quad, usually with his bike parked somewhere because he's about to go on some ridiculous, 400-mile ride or something for training. But he stops to take care of the campus first. So that's just kind of who he is. I really went off script here. So, all right. Well, anyway, it is clear from the nominations. I received nominations from the staff and my own insight into Jonah that we believe Jonah embodies Mesa pride, purpose, responsibility, integrity, duty, and excellence. I can guarantee you that he's probably not looking forward to his 2.5 minutes where he's supposed to talk about himself. In fact, I'm extremely excited to listen to that because 2.5 minutes is probably more words than I've heard from him in the 4 years of conversations I've had with him. I'm excited for you to hear from Jonah this morning. I'm pretty sure he will downplay his accomplishments and act as he doesn't know why he's here this morning. I assure you that he's the type of student that this program was designed to recognize. It is my pleasure to introduce Jonah Sanchez.
Hello everyone, my name is Jonah Sanchez, and this is my mentor, Lieutenant Colonel Jackson. I've known him the last 4 years, and I like to think he's a lot of the reason why I'm here. These are my parents, Brian and Tammy Sanchez. They're my parents, so obviously there's a big reason why I'm here. I like to congratulate everybody else that's been awarded Student of the Month. Like you guys, I understand that you guys have a lot of work on your plate, and I know what you guys have had to do to get here. For college life and what I expect to do in my future, I hopefully plan on attending Milligan College in Tennessee to get my nursing degree. After that, I plan on going to medical school, finishing that up, going to EMT school, and then eventually the fire academy where I can become a firefighter. Those are my overall plans. My current school life, most of the time I go to class, and after class it depends on what my plan is, but cycling takes up a big portion of my life. Outside of cycling, I am on a developmental team, which has helped me go from one level to beyond what I ever thought I could do. And this is one thing that's helped me a lot in life, and like you guys said, organization skills and all of that. It's a big thing to go from one level to a completely different level that you've never seen before. The biggest life lesson I've probably ever experienced was this year. Don't get mad at me if I get emotional, please. About a year ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and that was so hard to deal with. I do admit things went down the drain because I didn't know what to do. But the biggest life lesson I've ever learned is don't give up. Because no matter what you do, there's always light at the other side of the tunnel. There's always an example to give. There are always people looking up. There we go. Back to normal. All right. Like I said, setting the example for people that are looking up, people that don't know what you're going through. You can't just flip out because you're going through a certain situation. Some people don't know. And so you have to set the example for those little ones, those little freshmen coming in that have no idea what they're doing. They have no friends. They're just walking around like the ugly duckling. And frankly, they just need someone to talk to. So thank you all for your time, your generosity. Thank you all sponsors for everything you guys have done. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Jackson.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank Jonah for inviting me to do this. This is like the third time I've done this, and this event, frankly, for an old guy like me, this event gives me hope for our future. It makes me feel comfortable when I see these young people from all walks of life, and it's not about GPAs, it's about their character. When you see these young people with the character they have, I know I feel comfortable turning the reins over to these young folks and fade off into the sunset one day. And Jonah is, you know, as a teacher, I've only been teaching about 4 years. I mean, he was a freshman, so he was one of my few students I've had since they were a freshman. Okay, and it's pretty cool when you're a teacher and you have them every year and you see them grow and you see their character grow. And I thank you for saying that I had a part in building your character. I really do appreciate that, because I think that's why I do this. I was a Marine for 24 years. I lived with, we talk a lot about honor, courage, commitment, integrity, all these words. This young man lives those words. And it's rare to see young people with the character that he has, and all these young folks in here have. It's rare to see that in young men and women these days, in my opinion. So I told him a long time ago, the biggest and hardest thing to lead people is to set the example in everything you do. It's exhausting, 24/7 setting the example, because you can't ever quit. And out of all the students I've ever had, he's got more heart than any student I've ever had. And I think if I had to laser focus in on one thing in his character that inspires me. That is his heart. So thanks again for allowing me to come here. Thank you.
These are my parents, like I said earlier, Brian and Tammy Sanchez. So they're the reason I'm here. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm not that tall. You know what? It's one of those things, interesting thing, as a parent, you're doing all this stuff. You're like, okay, hope I'm doing it right. I hope they're getting the little nuggets you're teaching them over all these years. And it's really nice to see after all the years, you're like, okay, something really sunk in. And as a parent, it's kind of one of those things you're like, thank you. So you're like, great. And you know, kudos to all you parents and kids. The kids for learning what your parents were trying to knock into your noggin over the last bunch of years. With Jonah, it's been interesting. We started off, my wife was a teacher for a lot of years, and we started off homeschooled. Jonah was homeschooled all the way up until his freshman year. About 8th grade year, he's a total people person. Loves to go out and do things with people, loves to be around people. And he's like, I want to go to school. Like, wow, okay. From homeschool to big school. So it was really interesting, and from our perspective to go, we're now going to let you out of just our home with your 4 siblings right into a giant public school. And it's been nice to see where he comes out at. You're like, wow, okay, we did something right. Okay, he's making good decisions. He got tied in with NJROTC and just loved the structure, loved everything about it, along with everything he's doing at school. His grades are holding well, picking great friends, which as a parent, that's all you can ask for. So with the outside extracurriculars, it's just driven. You know, with his schedule of school, of doing all his homework, getting everything done, making sure it's done on time. And I don't know, most of you guys with your outside sports, you know, you're pushing outside sports. He's pushing about 14 hours a week on a bike every week. So it's one of those things that to juggle everything like you guys do as athletes and honor students and all that, kudos, good job. You guys can balance everything, and that's life as an adult too, to learn how to balance life, family, work, and everything. And you guys are learning it at this age. Kudos. Good job.
All right, thank you. I'd like to turn it back over to Mary Walters.
So I told you you were going to need that napkin, didn't I? And Jonah, I want to learn how to be able to turn that off because I cannot do that. Once I start, I'm done. I'm done for the rest of the day. Anyways, so we'll have lessons afterwards with me. So at this time, I'd like to invite our dignitaries to come forward and line up over here. We'll have from the City of Murrieta, Mayor Rick Gibbs, Congressman Ken Calvert, Brenda Denstadt, from Senator Jeff Stone's office, John Hunneman, from Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez, Samantha Stillwell, from Supervisor Chuck Washington's office, Sarah Rodriguez, and from the Murrieta Valley Unified School District, Mrs. Pamela Wilson. So if you all come over there, and while they're lining up, I would like to show the students what they need to do. So you see this pile that I have in my hand. These are called thank you notes. We have them all ready for you, and actually I made life a little bit easier. We actually have address labels. Yeah, so this is going to help a lot. And so when you get home, maybe over the holidays, you can fill out the thank you cards and send them out to all of the sponsors, because really that's what keeps the sponsors giving to the program and keeps us engaged with it, is getting these thank you notes from all of you, students of the month, on a monthly basis. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Rick Gibbs.
There's a few words that I wrote down as you were all speaking. And among the words are pain, loss, struggle, inadequacy. And for all of you, the other words I wrote down were give back, be charitable, servant leader, be a doer, get it done, don't give up. and from the parents, pride. You know, in this nation, we often wonder where our future is going. And as a member of the generation that is relinquishing power and moving on, all of you, I want to thank you young men and women and your parents, because you give me faith that this nation has a bright future as you take the reins of power. Congratulations, and every one of you is getting a little thing that's signed by this, by the city council. But what it really means is we are so proud of you. Thank you for being you.
Good morning. I'm John Hunneman with State Senator Jeff Stone's office. I've been coming to these events for 26 years, and I think this may be about the most emotional one I've ever been at, and just wonderful stories. Congratulations to all the students, all the parents, on behalf of the state senator. Also on behalf of the state senator, and Sally Myers isn't here this morning, but she's aware of this, Senator Stone gets to pick a large and a small business of the year each year for the 28th Senate District, which stretches from here all the way to the Colorado River. And this year, Sizzler and BMW Management, Sally's company, is his choice for Large Business of the Year in the 28th District. We'll be doing a presentation of that next week. But a lot of that has to do with all the charitable work and the great things that Sizzler does in the community. And this event that Sally started 26 years ago is a big component of that. Once again, congratulations. I want to remind students and faculty and principals, the senator also does There Ought to Be a Law contest that we've talked about. The deadline is coming up for that. It's a chance to actually go to Sacramento, testify before the State Senate Committee, and maybe get a high school students' input into a new law. We've gotten entries from school districts all across the 28th district. 50, 60 entries so far. I won't say which school district hasn't submitted an entry from anybody yet, but there's still a couple of weeks left. So congratulations once again, and keep up the great work and good luck.
Good morning. I'm Samantha. I'm here on behalf of Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez's office, and similar to all the other offices, we have a certificate for you as well. So I'm sure you're going to get to have all those on display at home. I'm sure your parents will proudly put them up everywhere. I wanted to congratulate all of you. This really is a great achievement. Something that I noticed was everybody had amazing time management skills and a lot of dedication. You know, you're learning really young that when you put in the time and you really put in the effort, you'll get really far and you'll achieve your dreams. And so I hope that you continue on with that, and you'll do great things. Come back to the city of Murrieta with everything that you've learned, and continue to inspire others in your community. So congratulations. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Rodriguez and I'm here on behalf of Supervisor Chuck Washington. We also have a certificate of recognition and we'd like to congratulate you all for your wonderful achievements. It has been so inspiring to hear your stories, and I'd like to encourage you as the holiday season is coming up and as you're ending your school careers to continue the hard work and finish strong. And so again, I'd like to congratulate you all.
Good morning. My name is Brenda Denstead, and I'm here today on behalf of our Congressman Ken Calvert, who wants to offer his congratulations to you on your accomplishments and a job well done. Still trying to find my voice. As a mom, myself, of a graduating senior this year, I, along with you, feel a tremendous amount of pride for my children's accomplishments. doesn't get any easier. As a mom who just lost a daughter, I was the proud mother of the Murrieta Valley graduate from 2016 who just passed away from meningitis while she was attending Northern Arizona University. And it was quite a blow. She was 19, and she was perfect, and she was an A student, and she was an environmental science major. And here's what I would tell you. Cherish every single second of every single day that you have to spend with family and friends. I regret not a single moment of my life with her or with Jamie, who's going to be graduating this year. Know that as you move forward in your lives, you have the opportunity to choose to live your life to the fullest every single day, and that fulfillment doesn't come from wealth. Fulfillment comes from the love and the giving that you have to give of yourself to others. Something that both of my children have been a stellar example of, selfless giving. And I am full in my heart because I know that. So go on, do great things. Don't waste a second of your time, because I know that the 19 years that Leanne was here, she graced everyone with dignity and with love and with true friendship. So I congratulate you all, and I wish you the very best on your next adventure. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here, Pamela Wilson, on behalf of our school district superintendent, Kelly, who regrets not being with us today as he's attending the California School Boards Association conference in San Diego. While here this morning, we have been able to learn a bit about each one of you. We've learned that you're free-spirited, that you're overcomers, that you're creative, you're givers, you're willing to stand in the gap for others, you're achievers, you're scholars, you're hard workers, you're competitors, servant leaders, you're kind, and you've done all these things with respect, pride, and class. I know I speak for all of us when we say thank you and congratulations. If you will just briefly indulge me, I want to go back to my days of being an English teacher and share some words of encouragement with you that I've kind of hid in my heart over these years that have been steadfast. And it goes like this. Aim high, reach far. Your aim the sky, your goal a star. Bite off more than you can chew, and chew it. Undertake more than you can do, and do it. Hitch your wagon to a star, hold your breath, and there you are. Congratulations. We thank all of you for the hard work. You just do not know as educators how the pride that we feel in knowing that you are the result of the work that we so love. So thank you very much.
On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we have a certificate for you guys. In my opening remarks, I said why we have such a great community. Thank you all. Just saw why we do what we do at the Chamber of Commerce. So thank you guys so much.
Okay, now we're nearing the end of the program. I hope you've been inspired by our stories this morning. I know that I have been. Just a few words to dovetail on what Mrs. Wilson stated. Arabella, pure joy. Pursue life to the fullest. These are special words. Monique, I just so appreciated seeing you again this morning because I got to sit on Monique's senior culminating project presentation, and just to see her heart for people and her quiet spirit. Stephanie, with your goal and your overcoming sense and to give back through suicide prevention. What a wonderful thing. Allison, a girl after my own heart. Where is she? Being a math teacher. I hope you come back to Murrieta. Girls, girl power. And then Jonah, being that servant leader and wanting to give back through your pursuit of nursing and fire, and through all of the, just having that ability to persevere through what you're going through. And Hannah, that kindness as well, wanting to be an OBGYN and giving back that way. So with that in mind, I know Sally likes to close with a minute with Maxwell since she couldn't be here this morning. But before we do that, at the conclusion of our program, we're going to take pictures out in front of the Sizzler. So you saw the chairs sitting there this morning. So we would like our dignitaries, our sponsors, our volunteers, principals, and their families to join us out front. So here we will end with a minute with Maxwell. And I think the word is kindness, which is very apropos for today. So here we go. I'll give it a go.
Reverend Andrea Peterson from Toronto, Canada, who is a pastor to seniors, wants me to talk about the word kind.
Okay, hold on.
If you have a ministry to senior citizens, there is nothing that you perhaps can give them more than kindness. I was in New York City sitting in the office of a major marketing executive. And she looked across the table to me, and this brilliant lady in this office that looked over Central Park said to me words one day that I'll never forget. She said, what I try to do every day more than anything else is to be kind to people. I've just discovered, she said, that kindness counts. I left that high-profile lady in that high-profile office that day, and as I took the elevator back down to the main floor to go out on the streets of New York City, I continue to remember what she said to me. No matter how spectacular you are, if you really want to touch people, just be kind. People really migrate to kindness.
So with that in mind, let's be kind as we move into the holidays. Thank you.